When life gives you mess, the transformative power of perseverance. Have you ever felt like you were drowning in circumstances so overwhelming that the very idea of coming up for air seemed impossible? That moment when you look around at the mess of your life and think, this can't possibly be fixable. I recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Rainie Armstrong, a woman whose insights on perseverance have fundamentally changed how I understand resilience. Her wisdom isn't theoretical, it's been forged in the fires of real struggle, refined through challenges that would break many of us, and delivered with a grace that can only come from someone who has truly walked through the valley and emerged stronger. Rainy isn't just sharing platitudes, she's offering a roadmap drawn from the depths of her own journey, a journey marked by obstacles that would have stopped most people in their tracks. Yet here she stands, not just surviving, but transforming lives with her message of unwavering hope. What struck me most about my conversation with Rainey wasn't just what she overcame, but how she reframed adversity itself. Life's mess, as she calls it, isn't something that happens to you. It's the raw material you're given to build something extraordinary. Think about that for a moment. The very things we pray would never touch our lives might actually be the catalyst for our greatest transformations. When Rainey speaks about perseverance, she's not talking about gritting your teeth and pushing through. She's describing something far more profound, a spiritual muscle that grows stronger with each challenge, a quiet determination that refuses to be defined by circumstance. Let me share something that might sound counterintuitive. Your greatest struggles aren't your greatest setbacks. They're your greatest setups. Consider Ursula Burns, growing up in public housing in New York City, raised by a single mother working multiple jobs to keep food on the table. As a Black woman pursuing engineering, a field dominated by white men, she faced both racial bias and financial hardship that would have deterred many. But Burns didn't just survive these challenges, she metabolized them into fuel. She drew strength from her mother's example, excelled academically at NYU Polytechnic Institute and Columbia University, joined Xerox as an intern, and then, well, history tells the rest. In 2009, she became the first Black woman CEO of a Fortune 500 company. What's remarkable isn't just that she reached the pinnacle of corporate America. It's that she fundamentally refused to accept the narrative that her starting point would determine her destination. Every time someone implied she didn't belong in those engineering classrooms or boardrooms, she didn't just prove them wrong. She redefined what belonging could look like for generations to come. This is the first profound truth Rainey Armstrong illuminated in our conversation. Perseverance transforms adversity into strength. The very challenges that threaten to break you can become the foundation upon which you build an extraordinary life. But here's where most motivational talks fall short. They tell you to persevere without acknowledging how impossibly hard that can be when you're in the thick of it. When you're a single parent struggling to afford diapers, when you're facing rejection after rejection, when the weight of expectation feels crushing. Lisa Nichols knows this reality intimately. As a single mother in South Central Los Angeles, she once found herself so financially desperate she couldn't afford diapers for her infant son. Public assistance became her lifeline, but not her identity. What did Nichols do when faced with this seemingly insurmountable challenge? She committed herself to personal development, reading books at the library while her son napped. She set small, achievable goals each day. She held on to hope when evidence for it seemed scarce. There were nights when she cried herself to sleep, days when she wondered if things would ever change. But each morning, she woke up and took one more step forward, not because she always believed it would work, but because giving up wasn't an option when her son's future hung in the balance. Today, Lisa Nichols is the founder of Motivating the Masses, Inc., one of America's most sought after motivational speakers and a multimillionaire entrepreneur. Her journey from welfare recipient to wealth creator wasn't overnight. It was built one small decision at a time, one day of showing up when giving up would have been easier. This brings us to the second truth Rainie Armstrong shared. Your circumstances do not define your future. Even when surrounded by naysayers, even when moving through unstable environments, your determination and faith can help you carve out a better future. I want you to really hear this, especially if you're in a season where hope feels like a luxury you can't afford. Where you are is not who you are, and it's certainly not who you're destined to become. Earning degrees, securing a stable home, reclaiming your health, these aren't just possible. They're probable when you refuse to be counted out, when you decide, as Rainey so powerfully articulated, that your current reality is a chapter, not the conclusion. But perseverance isn't just about individual triumph. Sometimes it's about carrying the weight of community expectations while navigating personal challenges. Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett embodies this complex balance. As one of the few Black women scientists at the National Institutes of Health during the pandemic's onset, she helped lead the development of Moderna's COVID vaccine while facing skepticism rooted in both gender and racial bias. The pressure was immense, not just to deliver groundbreaking science under unprecedented timelines, but to address valid concerns about vaccine safety in Black communities with a long history of medical mistreatment. Dr. Corbett didn't just excel scientifically, she engaged directly with communities, advocated for science education among marginalized youth, and became a beacon for representation in STEM fields. There were moments when the weight of responsibility must have felt overwhelming, knowing that her work would either reinforce or help heal generations of medical mistrust. Yet she moved forward with both scientific precision and profound empathy, understanding that her perseverance wasn't just about personal achievement, it was about lifting as she climbed, about recognizing that her success could create pathways for others. This brings us to the third truth Rainie Armstrong emphasized. Faith and self belief are essential tools for resilience. Putting something greater than yourself first, whether that's God, community, or purpose, provides the foundation needed to withstand setbacks and emerge stronger. When you're exhausted from life's demands, when relationships bring disrespect rather than support, when the ground beneath your feet feels unstable, faith becomes the bedrock upon which you stand. Not blind faith that ignores reality, but grounded faith that acknowledges the struggle while refusing to be defined by it. I'm reminded of a powerful quote. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Sometimes perseverance is simply putting one foot in front of the other when the destination isn't yet visible. Now, I want to be clear about something. Celebrating perseverance isn't about glorifying struggle or suggesting that systemic barriers are merely personal challenges to overcome. The stories of Burns, Nichols, and Corbett aren't just testimonies to individual grit. They're indictments of systems that create unnecessary hurdles for women, especially Black women. True perseverance isn't just about surviving broken systems, it's about changing them. It's about creating spaces where others don't have to fight quite as hard, where the path is a little clearer because you've walked it first. This is what makes Rainie Armstrong's insights so powerful. She understands that perseverance isn't just personal, it's communal. It's about holding space for others, even as you fight for your own breath. So, what does this mean for you right now in whatever mess life has handed you? First, recognize that transformation is rarely linear. Progress often looks like two steps forward, one step back, and sometimes three steps back. The key isn't perfection, it's persistence. Second, understand that your current circumstances are temporary, but the strength you're building is permanent. Every challenge you face is developing muscles of resilience you'll use for the rest of your life. Third, find your anchors, those practices, people, or beliefs that keep you grounded when everything else feels chaotic. For Rainy, faith provides that foundation. For you, it might be different. What matters is that you identify what steadies you when life tries to knock you off balance. I want to leave you with this challenge. Tomorrow morning, look in the mirror and tell the person staring back at you, I am not what has happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Then choose one area of your life where you feel stuck, just one, and take a single step forward. Not a leap, not a bound, just one intentional step. Because perseverance isn't about dramatic gestures, it's about consistent movement in the direction of your dreams. The mess you're facing today isn't your final story, it's just the material you've been given to work with. And like Ursula Burns, Lisa Nichols, Dr. Corbett, and Rainie Armstrong have shown us, what you build with that material can be more beautiful, more impactful, and more transformative than anything you could have imagined on your smoothest day. Your perseverance isn't just changing your life, it's creating ripples that will touch generations to come. So keep going. The world needs the strength that only your particular journey can forge. Thank you